Datastore. Object attribute not found although it exists in the Datastore. An ndb.boolean property default equals false attribute is not found when the code performs a check on whether the user can perform an action. I've tried using an ndb.string property instead of the boolean property, but it makes no difference. Other attributes within the property are recognized. Most interestingly, if I place a user.org_setup_done tag in ginger2 within the HTML, it returns correctly the value of the attribute, i.e. false. In other words, I know the attribute is correctly created and stored within the user entity as I can see it in the Datastore and call it with a ginger2 tag in the HTML. However, when I perform a check on it, it is not found. Expected result should be for the org_create.html page to render after the code checks that the org_setup_done attribute is true. Actual result is the following error. Does anyone have any idea on this? I'm truly confused by this one.
I think your user model is clashing with the built-in user model from Web App 2. You could configure Web App 2 to use your user model. However, Web App 2 session code probably has some assumptions about what fields, functions the user object has, so you'd need to implement those in your user. You could also just have your user model inherit the Web App 2 one.
As per Alex, it seems there was conflict between Web App 2's built-in user model and the user model I created. Although I am also not sure if the issue is actually between the session code from Web App 2 and my own session code created when I log in as admin. I.e., as this site is not live yet, it is behind a Google login as admin in the app.yaml file. As soon as I sign in on the dev server, a session cookie is created by Web App 2. Then, when I create a new user for the site, another session cookie is created, this time via my base handler in Dispatch. My knowledge of the code is not sufficient to know if the conflict actually lies in those two session cookies, but perhaps it is.
Appenginendb